What is your name, miss?
My name is Delphine Matthews. I'm here tonight and I'm speaking about my son Frank McQueen. On June the 2nd, 2014, he was shot multiple times and killed by Chester, Pennsylvania Police Department. But be it as it may, my son was shot so many times. When the funeral director came to my home, he talked to me about first doing a closed casket. Now, I tell people I don't know a lot about the law, but I do know one thing, that once a suspect is subdued, the police are supposed to withdraw from anything, especially if there's no harm to their self or anyone around them. Be it as it may, how many bullets does it take to kill a man? He informed me that someone stood over my son less than 3 feet away, shot him twice in the back of his head and once in his fourth vertebrae. Those were his exact words. But the things that I am telling you are no secret. They are no secret. All I know is that it should not take as many bullets as it has for my son, where they talk about doing a closed casket. I did manage to receive the police report, somewhat. There were 4 cops involved. 2 was at the front door and 2 was in the rear. The rear is where my son got killed at. The police report that I have talks about the 2 officers in the front. I want to know what happened with the 2 officers in the back. But I haven't received that information. I haven't received a coroner's report. They said that my son shot an officer. When I asked them, I said, well, did he have gun residue on his hands? They told me the envelope was sealed, and the only way I could find out is through a court order to obtain an attorney to get it. I should not have to have an attorney to get a court order to find out if my son had gun residue on his hands. Be it as it may, I asked, were the other adults in the home, were their hands swabbed? I was told no. I personally think everyone over the age of 18 should have had the same type of swabbing or whatever it is that you would call it. My son, let me give you a little insight about him. He was 34 years old. He had his own moving and hauling company, and he was his own publisher. He published several books, Red Devil, Who's Gonna Run This Town, and My Way of Saying Thank You. These are books you can look on Amazon under Frank McQueen. You'll see what he wrote. And the day that he died, or should I say got killed, the police towed my car and for investigation. When I received the car back, his laptop was in it. He had 3 more unpublished books on there. And my son also, he received his bachelor's from Liberty. He was due to start his master's in theology to become his own. He wanted to be a preacher. So he would have started his master's degree in September. I think if you would have gotten a chance to meet my son, you would have loved him. He's the type that did his wrong when he was young. But like I said, he paid his debt to society. He mentored some of the men when he left prison because he was arrested. And he would mentor them to go the right way. He would take them on his moving jobs just so they won't have to go out on the corner and sell drugs. He did his 360 turn. And I believe that my son is not going to rest until I rest. And I'm not going to rest until I seek justice. But the whole thing is, the mayor of Chester, I sat down with him and I talked to him. He promised to release my son's information. Nothing. To this day, I have received nothing at all. So if you should hear this message, please call Chester City's Hall, tell the mayor that Delphine Matthews said to release her son's information, the coroner's report, all of the police reports, and his personal belongings. I should be able to have closure. Oh, one last thing I wanted to mention. I now take it to the streets. The last Saturday of each month, I'll be taking it to the streets. I don't know which corner I'll be at, but I will be seeking justice for my son, Frank McQueen. Not only will I be seeking justice for him, I'll be seeking justice for all the Frank McQueens, Trayvon Martins, Tate Brown, because this has got to come to an end. But this Saturday, the Saturday in March, which is March 28th, I'll be at 60th and Market, and I'll be speaking on Frank McQueen. I never know what I'll be saying at that time, but I do know that these words need to get out. If I can touch one person, I have done my job, and I'm going to keep going and going. And I think that's it. Saturday, March the 28th at 2 o'clock, 60th and Market. I'll be standing out there with my sound system. If I'm the only one out there, I will take it to the street and get my word across to someone.